Good morning. Sat Sri Akal. I want to welcome you to this very humble but very special occasion. And I first want to begin by thanking the Texas Department of Transportation. We have with us Quincy Allen and Eliza Paul. Let's give them a nice round of applause. The reason TxDOT is here is because although this is the Harris County toll road, it is part of the TxDOT infrastructure. And so we have done this in partnership with them. And Quincy was the Houston area director before his promotion. And this process of envisioning a way to honor our brother started with Quincy. So Quincy, again, thank you. And Eliza, thank you for what you continue to do. Thank you. To that end, let me just simply say that we want to always honor all of our heroes. Every one of these law enforcement officers that are here are heroes in their own right. But obviously, when one is taken way too soon from us and taken violently, then it always leaves an incredible wound that is so difficult and impossible to ever fill. But when we do those opportunities of reflection, of memory, of honor and respect, then filling that hole may never be accomplished, but it eases the pain just a bit. And so I also want to recognize the beautiful family of Sandeep Dhaliwal. I first want to acknowledge his beautiful bride and regretful widow, Harvinder. And she is joined by two of her three children, Nordeep, beautiful, she's gorgeous, and Pardeep, my little man. And so we're so grateful that you've been able to join us today. And then I also want to recognize his sister, Harpreet, and the younger sister, and Daddy. Where's Daddy? Baba. Oh, there you are, Baba. So we're so grateful for the occasion, and we're grateful that the good Lord has given us this incredible weather to create this celebration. We have been joined by Lizzie Fletcher, so we're so grateful, Congresswoman, that you will take out of your incredibly busy schedule in DC to be here to support us and to help honor this. And we're also grateful, as I was sharing with Harvinder, that this naming of the toll road, of this section of the toll road system, will be a great opportunity for people going to the Sandeep Dhaliwal post office as they see him, acknowledge him, and then be able to see him once again at the post office. And we're grateful that, Congresswoman, when you did that, that was so early in your tenure. And so we applaud the respect that you have given the Indian and Sikh community, and we applaud your leadership and tenacity on making that happen and seeing it through so quickly. Thank you very much. Then obviously, right next to me, obviously never like the family, very imagine, but we acknowledge the presence of Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. Thank you so much, Sheriff. Thank you for your leadership. And it was I've had to make a few calls myself over my career, but no one ever imagined it would be this close. The sheriff called me soon after the shooting occurred and explained to me that a deputy had been shot. And that obviously is horrible enough. But then he very carefully delivered the incredible news that it was our brother, Sandeep. Sheriff, thank you for your passion and your compassion. Thank you. We are also want to recognize Jagdeep. Jagdeep, I'm not sure if he's made it just yet, but Jagdeep is the executive director of the Indo-American Chamber. Let's give him a nice acknowledgement. And then we also have with us Sanjay Ram with the Metro Board. Thank you so much, Sanjay. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for joining us today. And then I also want to make sure that we recognize the office of Commissioner. I was going to elevate him to Commissioner Jack Cagle, who is here represented by Joan Gould. Where are you, Joan? Thank you very much. We appreciate the Commissioner. We know he would have been here otherwise, but thank you so much for representing him. And then I also want to acknowledge all the Sikh Gurdwaras that are in the area. And Bobby Singh, Bobby, thank you for all your work. Thank you for your advocacy for the community. But Bobby was sharing with me that this section of the toll road not only has the Sikh national temple, obviously at the beginning point of this, but there are three other temples in the immediate surrounding area of this section of the toll road. So Bobby, thank you so much for acknowledging that. And again, thank you for all your work. And it was through your work, Bobby, that the idea that we should give the Sikh community amongst the highest respect after an unfortunate incident started with the work of you and your brother, a visit to a temple where, unbeknownst to me, Sandeep and Daddy would be at. And it started a whole incredible chain of events. And so again, thank you for your tireless work on behalf of the community. At this time, yeah, please. Also, if you will indulge me, I do want to recognize my staff. My chief of staff is with us, our communications director and her team are here. My executive assistant, Megan, is also here. Thank you to my staff for their work in seeing this through. And then lastly, before I ask Congresswoman Fletcher to join us at the podium, I do want to give a special and respectful and grateful recognition to Peter Key. Peter is, I don't like the term interim, but he is currently the interim executive director of the Harris County Toll Road System. And so I want to thank Peter for all of your work every day on behalf of all the citizens that use the toll road system, but especially at this particular moment. And Peter will understand when I say this that he was kind enough to thank me for a policy change that I made within county government. He thanked me because it was a benefit and help to him and his family. And so today, Peter, I say to you, thank you for the help that you've given my family. Thank you very much. Congresswoman Fletcher, if you please join us.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Garcia. And thanks to all of you. I'm so honored and proud to join you this morning, to be here as we celebrate the incredible life of Deputy Dhaliwal, and I'm just so honored to be included in this group. I think that we're all here because we know that Deputy Dhaliwal represented the very best of all of us, the best of our community. And that's why our community has responded in the way that it has to his tragic loss. We know that he's a trailblazer. We know that he was a trailblazer for the Sikh community and for law enforcement, and that he was someone who, with his every bit of his being, showed us the way forward to build community, to build connection, to bring people together. And that is what we need now more than anything. And I think what we are seeing is the legacy of someone who connected with everyone that he met. Someone who, because he had an idea, because he had a vision, because he knew that he could make a difference, he did it every day of his life. And for the last year, our community has been mourning his loss, and I know that everyone here is personally mourning his loss. It's such a privilege and an honor for me to be able to play some small role in honoring him. And Commissioner Garcia, as you mentioned, what a privilege to be able to name the post office after Deputy Dhaliwal so that people can drive on the Deputy Dhaliwal toll road to get to the post office. Now, my hope is that he will continue to be a role model, not just for people in our community, but for people across our country, many of whom have reached out to my office, who have seen the incredible outpouring of love and support in this community for Deputy Dhaliwal, who want to know more and who are so inspired. And that is a gift he's given all of us, and it will last forever. And so we have this opportunity now to memorialize him on this toll road, to memorialize him. Hopefully soon we will finalize the post office. That bill has passed the House of Representatives, so we just have a few more steps before we are done. But I think what it should tell everyone who drives down this road, who goes to the post office, who engages with this community, is the incredible power that one person can have and the example that one person can set for an entire community. And so I'm so honored to be able to lead the resolution to name the post office and to be a part of this morning's celebration with the toll road. I think that this permanent reminder, and it is, as we know, in concrete, a permanent reminder. I was so pleased as I drove here this morning to see the sign already up on the portion of the toll road, and to see that we will all see him every day as we move around our community, as people come here and go throughout Harris County to visit with others, to have this example for all of us and this incredible memory. So this permanent reminder of his selfless service to our community, his example for people in the Sikh community, but people of all faiths, to engage and to be part of the community and to build connection. And that is what his legacy means for me, for Houston and Harris County, and I think for all of us. So I'm so grateful to have this chance to show what it means, what a life working for equality and connection in community looks like. It looks like the life of Deputy Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal, and I'm so grateful for you and so glad to be able to be a part of this morning. So thank you, Commissioner Garcia, for including me. Thank you, Sheriff Gonzalez. Thanks to everyone here. And of course, thank you so much for all of the things that you are doing to continue his legacy in the Harris County Sheriff's Office, across Harris County, with this toll road. May we all live as Deputy Dhaliwal showed us we can. Thank you so much.
Congresswoman Fletcher, thank you so very much. At this time, I'd like to ask our sheriff, my sheriff, the sheriff of Harris County, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning to everyone. First, our deepest condolences to the family to all the friends that are gathered here today. At the Sheriff's Office, we miss our friend, we miss our teammate. It's a loss that we continue to feel every day at the Sheriff's Office. There's not a day that goes by that we do not remember him. We made a pledge at the time of his tragic death that we would always remember. It's a pledge that we do to every fallen hero, but it's a pledge that we must always follow up and be there every step of the way. So we'll continue to accompany the family, continue to be a part of your lives. This was a very deep loss for me personally, because through my friend, Commissioner Garcia, then Sheriff Garcia, I got a chance to develop a friendship with the Dhaliwal family and with Sandeep. And that's something that I hold very near and dear to me. And I think it's very fitting that on this very special day, this beautiful day, that we come together, because today's October 6th, but it's also National Night Out. And it's a day that we all come together as a community to stand united, to stand against crime, to build the ties in different communities. And it's fitting that we're here to celebrate Sandeep, because he exemplified what National Night Out was every single day. That's how he served. That's how he served. He got to know his communities. They loved him. He loved them. I hear countless stories from community leaders that say, he helped my son. He protected us. He protected our daughter. He watched my home when it was burglarized. He met me at my greatest time of need. That was who Sandeep was every day. And we're so glad that we got to experience what he was all about. He was a hero. He was a humanitarian. He was a great man. He loved his family and he loved the community. Every day he helped so many people. And it's incredible to hear the stories that we all hear when we see neighbors that are here from Galveston that knew him from Copperfield and got a chance to build that relationship with him and honored him and recognized him at the time of his death, and are still here because he left that kind of impact. And it's an impact that will not soon be forgotten. He also taught us about tolerance. As a peace officer, as a law enforcement officer, we're easily identified through our police uniform. We're known through our police cars and our guns and other articles of tools of our trade. But Sandeep, as you could see him, was unique. He is also, reflected the articles of his faith. And as Bobby Singh always reminds us, it's a reminder that you do not have to lose your identity. You do not have to lose your culture, your identity, the things that are important about who you are, to be able to serve at the highest levels. And that's what Sandeep did. And he is inspiring a whole new generation of others to continue the work that he started, that trailblazing work that he started. We have Sergeant Abbasi with the Sheriff's Office, for example, that is continuing that work. We have many others in the community as well that also have given so much and continue to serve. And so at the Harris County Sheriff's Office, he is missed. He's appreciated. We're going to continue to honor and recognize him every year. And we're going to continue to find ways so that the new generation of peace officers know who Sandeep does, so that when they travel this roadway, when they go to the post office and many other places, they'll ask, who was Sandeep? And there'll be a long legacy of stories to share about what a great human being, above all a human being, Sandeep was. And we appreciate him. We appreciate all Sikh Americans that contribute to our society every day. May we continue to build bridges of tolerance and acceptance, not only here, but across our great nation and the world. So thank you, Commissioner Garcia, for first bringing him into the profession, allowing him to serve at the highest levels. I know he wouldn't have had it any other way. And thank you for always honoring him, and to your beautiful bride as well, Monica Garcia. Thank you for being a part of the family as well. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Extremely well said. I do want to take a quick second. I failed to acknowledge Mr. Mark Tobin. Where are you, Mark? There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your work. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support in seeing this happen. I do want to thank the sheriff for those remarks, because I want to make sure that Harvinder and the children in particular hear this. I can't ever imagine the pain that you go through minute by minute, much less day by day. But know that we will always struggle to find true understanding for why things happen the way they do. But know that there are so many places for you to see the things that your husband and your father did, the contributions that he made, the lives that he touched. And for that reason, we will never, ever stop remembering him, thanking him, nor will we ever allow ourselves to forget him. So thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Azad if he would join us for some brief remarks.
On behalf of the Sikh National Center and all about 25,000 Sikhs that are in the Houston metropolitan area, we think that we are part of a major history-making event. Many times we do not realize when the history is being made that it will have lasting impact on generations to come. Of course, we are biased because he was one of our own, and we are elated that he is being acknowledged, the type of recognition by the larger community that he is. However, it is much more than just Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal. Love one another as you're reading is very easy to say, but minds and hearts are one at a time. We all have that ability given to us by the Lord Almighty. Yet, what is love? Accepting another the way they are and the way they are not. The way they are not stops us. We want people to be this way, that way, we like that. But when we come to the way they are not, those feelings act as brakes. Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal had no such brakes. He accepted. I knew him as a community member. He was an ordinary community member starting out before, as our Honorable Commissioner Adrian Garcia alluded to, he showed up at Sikh Center. At the time, Sir Sampurn Singh was the president of that institution. We came from Sikh Center. This is the outgrowth of Sikh Center. And Bobby Fakela, Bobby Singh is behind there. They made those contributions. We appreciate Quincy from Texas, Department of Highway. We have 3 access driveways to this feeder road. Texas Department Highway controls access. What a fitting memorial for us all. I have read some comments on the internet that why recognize a particular fallen soldier that happens every day of the week. Law enforcement people get into this dangerous business, and unfortunately, the evil strikes every. It is not a matter of a particular soldier in uniform losing his life on one particular day because of one particular event. It is the hearts and minds that this particular individual won during his tenure of almost a decade in the sheriff's department. It would not be inappropriate for me to remind where we were about 15 years ago. A burglary took place in a Sikh household, and those two Tagore children wore this kirpan. Sheriff's department arrested those people instead of finding the burglars. That's where we started. We have come a long, long ways, and thank you to this man who changed the departmental laws. But no sheriff can change the hearts of the people. That was up to Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal to do. He did it. Definitely, I appreciate the legacy that was started with Adrian Garcia. It was a conscious decision. It was a major decision. It was not a small decision. Going back the history of the sheriff's department in Harris County, I have no hesitation in acknowledging that it was a major decision. Changing the department rules and regulations to allow people who look like me, Sandeep Dhaliwal, this is our uniform prescribed by our religion. And many people misunderstand this. We are typically associated with Taliban and other folks that we have absolutely nothing to do. That is not to say that you should hate anybody. But misunderstanding, the only cure for that is to impart understanding, to impart that education. And what a better way. Yes, we are a minute minority. Less than 1 million people call United States home. In Canada, similar number, but Canadian population being less as a percentage of the total population, there are more Sikhs in Canada than there are in India, percentage-wise. It's important to note. However, less than 1 million out of 330 million, 335 million Americans, we are a small minority. I have this magazine with me. Some folks came from Dallas, and I wanted to share one statistics. Sikhs have always stood with the Western values. More than 83,000 Sikhs gave their lives fighting with the Allied armies in World War I and World War II. So this is not a new love affair. Sikhs have fought alongside of the Western values. World War I was 1914 to 18, and then World War II was 38 to 1942, and the martial spirit is in Sikh DNA. The reason I'm taking so much time explaining, and I'll close relatively quickly, is that because of our facial hair turban, we're easily misunderstood. Hey, what are you trying to prove? That you're different? You don't want to be assimilate? No. You get less than of me if I have to hide myself. Ed Gonzalez made a very touching remark to me. The lack of full self-expression gives you less of a citizen. the full expression of our heritage. And yet, what is America? America is an idea. I am just as much American just because I wear turban and wear my religiously prescribed attire does not make me any less American. And that is the monument that this will stand here, and we will install on our property an electronic sign that will communicate to the couple of 100,000 cars go by every 24 hours. The impact that this sign, along with that sign and this landmark project here, will have tremendously lasting impact. And I close with thanking the three people again. Lizzie Fletcher, the Congresswoman, she was just relatively new Congresswoman, just 2 years into it, first term. For her to take that step is something monumental. Similarly, Adrian Garcia and then Ed Gonzalez, their footprints in history will be long remembered. And you are not just building bridges between a Sikh community, a minority community, and the larger community. You are sending a message of love one another. With these remarks, I thank all of you to have come at Sikh National Center, and we certainly pray and hope to live up to this motto, and this will watch God. His watch ended in life, flesh, one day, but for us, that watch has not ended.
Thank you, Dr. Azad, for those great remarks. I did want to make sure I didn't fail to recognize Precinct 4's Constable's Office. I want to thank Constable Herman for having his staff out here supporting us. They have the responsibility of protecting this section of the toll system. And so we're grateful that for number one, for their service. Thank you for helping us be here safely. And thank you for what you will continue to do going forward. Thank you so much. And at this time, I'd like to ask Baba, Sandeep's daddy, and his sister, Harpreet, to join us for some brief remarks.
Celebrate, say. You're so proud of your son. Come on, Papa. Come on. You can do it. Pradeep, come on. Chalo, Papa.
I just want to say thank you, all of you who come here,
Okay?
celebrate his life. And I think Commissioner Garg and Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher. I have no words. Everything I say value less what you did. And I hope we'll keep doing this for our community, for this city, for this country. And I just say thank you, all of you, law enforcement, constable, sheriffs, HPD. The support I got from you gave me so much energy that I can walk, get through this.
You got it.
And I
Proud of your son.
And I hope that And I'm sure that I'll keep getting this as long as I live in the city. And I'm sure you will keep honoring him and what he did, what he left behind, to complete that and keep going forward, to keep his name up. Thank you very much.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Good morning, everybody. Today we're here to celebrate that big hero, my lovely brother. I love him so much, so as you. That's why we are here today. I'm very thankful to my big brother, Adrian Garcia, my big brother, Ed Gonzalez, and all the team who work for this celebration today. It is such a great celebration. I want to let you know, last year, if you remember, Sandeep opened the doors for every single department, sheriff department, HPD, and constable. So you can go in your Sikhi group and go join the law enforcement. The reason to opening this road today, because of Sandeep want that. You know why? Because he wanted you to join the law enforcement and go outside to the road what he was doing. Spread your love, help the helpless people, give the hungry people to their food. So I want everybody, please, whoever, new generation, not because he's my brother, just for your little ones, try to keep his poster or his picture, so your little ones can ask, who is this uncle, what he did for us, so you can explain what this uncle did to us, to Sikhi. So maybe that motivate them to join the law enforcement. So please, again, he opened the big road for us, and B2B keep going, and spread the love and help the people outside and never stop. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for coming in. Have a good day.
Harpreet, thank you so very much. And again, to the family, to the entire family, I just want to say there's never, ever going to be enough that we can do, but we want to make sure that you know that we're always thinking about you. I did want to recognize other leaders in the community. We have been joined by Attorney Manpreet Singh. Thank you so very much. Thank you for being here. An advocate, a fighter, someone who's helping to move policy forward. So we thank you very much. The sheriff wanted to make sure I specifically pointed you out. So thank you very much, Manpreet. And then we're also here with someone who's making this temple possible, this national center possible, but someone who also is a quiet leader, but someone that we all in the community depend on often. And I want to recognize Manohar Man. Mr. Man, where are you? There you go. Thank you very much. To that end, let me close with these remarks. We are all here because an incredible individual was taken from us. But we're more importantly here because of the things that the sheriff alluded to, his family has alluded to. I think a calling for us to do our very best to be like Sandeep, to think about others the way Sandeep thought about others. Obviously, social distancing, regretfully, at the time, but to bring people in. And tolerance and inclusiveness, to work to bring down walls that keep us separated. This is how I am choosing to look to this occasion and to look and try to understand why we lost Sandeep. In Christian faith, there is sometimes a phrase that said that only God has the plan. Only God knows what it is. And I can't think of anything more befitting to understand that why a situation at a home, unconnected to most of us, would make its way to the first brown guy sheriff that would allow me to have a relationship with a guy like Bobby Singh that would then say we need to go talk to a community, and for the words to be said that we will create policy and training to make sure this never occurs again, but we will never move forward unless you give your children to the profession. And then to have a young kid like Sandeep make a very difficult decision to shave and to lose his turban, and then to have the sheriff look at a magazine and see a U.S. military soldier wearing a turban and a beard, and then create that awakening of why can the United States military do this and yet not United States law enforcement. And then to sit with Manpreet and Bobby and others to craft through the work of the policy that would allow the brown guy sheriff to bring in the brown guy Sandeep. But Sandeep could not do it if he did not have the love and support of his family. So as we began, Harvinder and your children, we say thank you. Say thank you. Because in them is where we will look to the promise of our future. And so again, we say never gone, but never ever forgotten. And then the last thing I'll say is that there's another phrase that Christians like to use, and it comes from the Bible. He ran a good race. He fought a good fight, but he kept the faith. And so Sandeep ran a good race. He fought a good fight, but he kept his articles of faith. Again, thank you. And so now we will have let me briefly share a few words in Spanish, if you'll indulge me. Estamos aquí para reconocer la vida de un gran servidor público, un héroe. Esa persona está conocido en el nombre de Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal. Era una persona que el alguacil y yo llegamos a reconocer personalmente a él y su familia. Y lo estamos reconociendo obviamente porque perdió su vida en un modo muy triste, muy tragedio, muy temprano y muy violento. Pero en lo que él llegaba a representar, yo creo que la tema para los emigrantes es que Sandeep, un inmigrante nacido en India, llegó a entrar a su trabajo como elementos del Departamento de Alguacil del Condado Harris, sencillamente para alcanzar más personas, arrimarlos para entenderlo a él, pero también para entender el Departamento del Alguacil del Condado Harris y para tumbar que muchas veces nos llegan a separar. Entonces les quiero dar las gracias al Harris County Toll Road Authority, le quiero dar las gracias al Departamento de Transportación del Departamento de Texas y quiero darle las gracias a la familia en particular por los sacrificios que ellos han sentido, pero también gracias a la familia por prestarnos sus hijos y para el servicio que él nos brindó. And so with that, I want to say, again, thank you. This is the sign that we will so be grateful to see. And I want to make sure that I haven't left anything undone. And so with that, let's all, I will encourage you, I erased the tolls for a while at the early point of the pandemic. Pay your tolls so you can see the Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal sign in its service. Spread the love, spread the news that Harris County is a welcoming county, and we welcome all who want to work hard, play by the rules, but make Harris County the greatest county in America. Thank you so much. God bless. Be safe.